what's most important to you? Creativity or like the business?
Creativity for
Yeah.
sure. But starts with creativity for me because I can't even plan my business strategy until the music is made. You know what I mean? I can't even articulate how I'm gonna release something, uh, the days I'm gonna do it on, event planning. It starts with the music, so it always comes back to the art of it, the creativity. What's the thought into like what I'm creating for me
Yeah.
always. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how everybody else does it, but for me, man, it's the music. I have people hit me up all the time and be like, "Hey, such and such date is coming on. What you doing for the spring? What you doing for summer? Always that time to drop this type of record." And I'm like, "Man, the music ain't ready, so I can't even think that far. Let me holler back at you when I got enough songs to share." You know what I mean? So
Yeah. Yeah. Cause I always think with creativity, like when you able, like you said, when you making music when you first started, you were just making it for the love of it, for the creative part of it, how to get the words out, how to get that feeling out, and it was more fun for you, I guess, at that point.
for sure.
But now that it's a business and it's your livelihood, it's like, okay, now I gotta really figure out, okay, how I want to make this song. What songs should I put out? You know what I mean? And it's more business y. If you know what I'm saying. If you, yeah, I don't know, because the business is what make you the money, but the music, how good it is, also lends to that. So it's like, I don't know. It's like a toss.
Yeah, it's finding that balance because I started off the interview saying I'm back inspired to make music,
Yeah.
right? Because I'm going through those phases too, where like I have to keep up this amount of numbers, this amount of I don't know engagement on Instagram, doing X Y Z, and I honestly just got back to a point where I'm inspired to make the music. I'm enjoying making the music, and also I guess from a business standpoint, that's where you bring in a few people to help you facilitate the business. Let them worry about that. Now I'm one to say that, but I still try to do everything myself and try to balance the business and the music. So yeah, maybe that's where you find somebody that can just take that off your plate. So I have a few people that help me like investing and things of that nature. But until I'm enjoying the music I'm making, like again, I can't think as far as like what we doing on the business side. To me, it's not reality for me. It just feels like entertainment, and it all feels staged.
Yeah.
So I gotta like focus on the music first. Then we'll get to like how we rolling this out. How many days we got before we doing this release event? What's ways to uh, um, I guess get people to the event and like what should we offer them and da da da. When all I really want them to do is listen to the fucking music.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But finding that balance. But as we get older, we understand it can't just be out of love. We gotta make it. We gotta monetize it somehow, some way.
Yeah.
And I think for me, being successful in music to where I don't have to work a regular job, it allowed me to get back to enjoy creating. But then there's sustaining that success when the money comes and how to make that money make money. And then I can't focus on music right now. I gotta figure out how to keep the bills getting paid. Uh, but life is balanced. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So right
Yeah.
now I'm like 50-50 with everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What made you you spoke a little bit to it where you can't focus on the music, and what brought you out of that love for the music? Was it coming out of that your old deal, or what was it that made you uninspired?
Man, maybe keeping up the hype of like the records like Self Love. I'm like, cause my target audience changed overnight. You know what I mean? It was like I have all these new women followers, and it's like, dang, on a business standpoint, I have to focus on them because that's where the dollars is coming from. But anybody that's been following Jason lyrics since back in the day, I've always been like an MC. I could actually rap, You know, I've always made songs for the women, but that wasn't my like primary focus. And I think just getting in the mentality of like, man, I need to feed my women audience kind of took me away from it because now I'm aiming for a certain song. I'm like, I'm trying to replicate something I've done instead of just create from like just inspiration in general. Um, and then recently I got to a point where fuck it, I'm gonna make the music I want to, and you know they like it, they do, they like it, they don't. You know,
Mm. You think the self love was like a gift and a curse?
I yeah, in some ways I do, in some ways I do, but more so a gift than anything.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it took me understanding what a big record could do, and so it's lessons learned and things I had to go through to understand the music business. So all in all, it happened the way it was supposed to. Um, I think just going back, I would have did things a little different after Self Love had its success. But mainly a gift. I think the curse was like it altered the way people around me that was a part of my team think too. And so I'm trusting them with certain decisions, and they like, we got to do X, Y, Z, and then you know what I'm saying. So it's like just sticking with my gut, like throughout. I think is where I need to be and stick with that.
Mm. Have you performed that song with Nivea live?
Nevaeh, no,
Nevaeh?
I haven't. I haven't. No, I haven't.
Man, we
Um,
gotta get that.
yeah. So I think Nevaeh wasn't as inspired to do music either. You know what I
Really?
mean? Yeah. It's like she she just got back in it from what I've seen about like working on a project and putting music out. So I mean, that's a question for her to see, you know, where she's at musically and what she wants to do. But now we still haven't performed it. I, the day it happens, you know, it's gonna be beautiful
That's
though.
gonna be so dope.
Yeah,
Yeah,
agreed.
that's gonna be so dope, man.